this is Asvardal, and welcome to an exciting new episode of my game development live stream. Today, once again, we're going to be working on Sara the Shieldmage, my Eastern RPG, and, well, I always like to start these off with what I've been working on for the past 2 weeks, so let's go ahead and get into that. First things first, on the title screen, not a lot has actually changed. I haven't set a first button so that the control system can work exactly, and getting into the event system is something that I've been trying to save for a little bit later for me. I've been just mostly stomping bugs. So yeah, let's go ahead and start a new game and show you guys what I've been doing. So Nuria Castle hasn't changed. One interesting thing you'll notice is that, well, if my sprites seem different, it's not the dancing girl anymore. Well, that's because they are different. I've been spending some time on the generic male and female sprites. This is the generic male model right here, no, without any hair, clothing, armor, any of that stuff. I've also refurbished the talking interface too. So this is the predefined quest. We can still get it. I'd converted all of the UI stuff over this last week to Unity UI. So that was one of the major things I did, in addition to the default template sprites. This is the female version right here. You'll notice that there is no anatomical detail. I do like to keep my streams safe for work or wherever you may be. Let's go ahead and see what this adventurer says. Yeah. She tells you about the disco blocks. Yeah, there's our herald, still female. But, well, yeah, not too much to it. Let's actually go out to someplace a little bit more interesting. The battle system, I went ahead and fully refurbished, which was pretty interesting. I would say there's not a lot to say about it, but well, all the coding I did would beg to say otherwise. So let me go ahead and turn on random battles for you guys right quick. The settings dialogue in the main menu really hasn't changed all that much. Go ahead and bump up my visual quality for you guys and drop the master volume a little bit. So yeah, there we go, there's a random battle. There is a slight bug with the health meter filling up like that, but yeah, it's not too bad. You'll notice that I have a smooth transition on the grids. On the grids, I say on the grids, I've been working on something else this past week. On the health bars, I was actually thinking of doing something a little bit like Final Fantasy XIV, where like when you take damage, there's sort of like a secondary bar that that's like bright white or something that lingers there until this slide transition is done. There's also some other slight issues with the battle system. Like, okay, when I get this next active turn, yeah, you can see the dead guy is still there, and there are some of the AI will try to target dead party members or enemies or whatever. I still haven't gotten rid of the double effect thing, unfortunately. That's actually brand new. I haven't seen that. Good thing I make these recordings and save them so I can look at them later, huh? But yeah, there you go. Battle system is still very much a thing. Get our 2 tonics. Actually, let me go ahead and use those right quick. Sara could use some. Yeah. All right, there we go. Get jumped again, but I don't mind. I actually really like the battle system now that I've got these nice little things going. Wish I knew what was causing that. I think I might know, but I'll look into it after I'm done with the broadcast. I Thanks. Yeah, see, you can target a dead enemy. And I want to keep Sara's HP crap full for the boss. Speaking of bosses, while I get into this boss fight, I've been actually one of the other things I've been working on that doesn't have to do with bugs or fixing the UI or whatever. I've been thinking of some ways that I could add some more content to the game, because I'm sort of getting to the point where now, okay, I've worked on the key systems for a while. They're doing all right, nothing too bad, just some minor glitches here. So yeah, I was thinking I want to go ahead and do a little bit more of something with the game, and sort of give everyone a expanded thin slice and get a little bit more feedback. I think I'm to that point. I particularly like the gauges. I mean, it's a small thing, but I really feel that the smooth transition on the gauge was really cool. Also, I didn't do Davis's ability effects, but yeah, there we go. We defeated the boss, and we got the key item. Yeah, there is a slight bug though with the with that. I'm not. You saw how there was still that examine thing as if it was closed. Well, if I did open it again, it would re-trigger the boss fight, and I'm going to figure out what's going on with that. But I've had some other things to do. I'm actually going to stop there because, well, that's plenty for just showing what's going on with the core game. I want to show you guys something a little bit different now. This is actually something new I've been working on. This is a generic shop. Pretty much what's going to happen is this is going to be a lot like, well, one of the default shops from Final Fantasy. There's going to be like a counter around the sky, and based on where you come into this map from, there will be random doodads all over it. Like if you go into a weapon shop, you'll have a whole bunch of sword racks, maybe some spears, a couple of shields on the walls. The shopkeeper might be a knight instead of a mustache dude with a turban or whatever. But the common things will be this room structure and the fact that there's a counter, pretty much, and the windows when I create those. So this is one of the new things I'm working on. And let me go ahead and show you guys the shop system right quick. So this is just a very basic shop system. It starts off with the conversation, and pretty much the way I've got it set up is the shop system is actually an addition, in a way, to the conversation system. Pretty much what I do in some of my data is, well, let me show you the data actually. Oh, that's my framework stuff. Okay, yes, so this is this new data file. I start off with the his greeting text, then I end the conversation and call this open shop, and yeah, based on the NPC in question, I can pretty much tell him to have any inventory I want. This NPC is only going to carry a tonic. Let me show you guys that. Yeah. So yeah, there's some of the notation, some of the UI I think I could improve, and for some reason the tonic doesn't have a description of any kind. That kind of bothers me. But yeah, I can also, well, let me go ahead and buy a tonic. You notice it updated my Saphirium count there. I also need to update this. This is a minor graphics glitch right here because, well, you're selling, you totally can't afford it. But yeah, I can sell the item back, and yeah, there you go. I can just keep on buying and selling that tonic back and forth over and over. There's some filters so that, like, your money doesn't wind up appearing in this grid, but ultimately, not too much. It was a fun little project that cost me maybe... The code part cost me 2 hours this morning, maybe? Ish? But yeah, it was actually pretty fun, so yeah, I mean, I've got a working shop system in the game, so all of a sudden that Saphirium, yeah, that's going to start mattering a whole lot now. I'm going to be doing some tuning on the items and making sure that they're powerful but costly enough to give the game a decent degree of challenge. Not so much that you'll be pulling out your hair, but well, enough that you'll remember this game. I think that's a better way to do it. So, having shown you guys all the stuff I've been working on these past 2 weeks, let's go ahead and get into what I'm going to be doing on screen this afternoon. So probably one of the biggest things I think I could do is go ahead and bind up the shop map to Nuria City. This is going to be a little bit more interesting because I also need to make a way to get from Nuria City to this generic shop. And for the time being, I'm actually going to not add any of the special dynamic stuff that I was going to add, that I'm still going to add. I think it would lead to just having to make a whole bunch of assets on screen, more than I'm already going to make. I mean, I am going to be doing some artwork today in order to do this, but yeah, I also don't want to overdo it either. Besides, I only have like what, an hour and 8 minutes left. Holy crap! It took me quite a while to get through explaining everything I've done. Holy heck. Well, I guess that shows you guys I've been working. Right, so enough blathering. Let's get some things done. First thing I'm going to need to do, let me go ahead and open up the city of Nuria. So what I think I'm going to want to do, I've went ahead and rearranged what's currently the city of Nuria. I'm probably going to wind up remodeling all of this at some point in the future, but specifically making it a lot wider and a little bit more, because right now as a town goes, it's pretty cramped. I don't really think that it sells the idea of this being like a mountain city or anything. But yeah, what I'm probably going to do is right over here in this region. Let me go ahead and mark it on my map here. Actually, let's go ahead and give it a little bit more. There we go. My sort of my main trading shop post thing is going to go on pretty much this area right here. So let's go ahead and get to doing some 3D modeling. I don't think I've done this on stream for a while, actually. Okay, so first thing I'm going to want to do, well, first thing I'm going to want to do is change my UI so that it's correct. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got our grand cube here. And I think the Z is okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. So yeah, while I'm working, actually, let me go ahead and, oh yeah, there we go. I've actually been playing some games over the last 2 weeks too. You wouldn't know it from how much work I've actually gotten done on the game, but I've sort of found myself a little bit pressed for, okay, I've got all these systems now. What exactly am I going to do to it? That's not to say I didn't walk into this with like a vision of what I was going to create. I mean, I've always had a vision for what I wanted Sara the Shieldmage ultimately to become, but it's just I've had a very difficult time, sort of making it happen. Is that enough? No, that's not enough. You try that again. So what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks is off and on, when I haven't been working on some feature or another, is, well, I've been actually playing some games and sort of reminding myself, hey, what do I want to make? and it's been a good exercise. I've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV. Holy heck, that is not right. Let me try that again. No, why? Yeah, there we go. For that matter, you go ahead and there we go. That looks a lot better. Yeah, so I've been just playing through games that I find to be reasonably good and reminding myself, oh crap, I just realized something. Uh, for one thing, I didn't do this in mesh mode, so at least no one's going to miss those vertices. Maybe I shouldn't talk and try to do 3D stuff at the same time. Um, yeah, I was just going to say, though, I've been trying to find ways to get a decent plot out of this game because it has well, I say it has a lot of potential. I know the potential it has because, well, I'm sort of making it, but save that Blender file. There we go. Yeah, it's just I've had a really hard time, doing the actual writing and putting it into words. And well, words are tough. Words are very tough. But I think I've settled on some things. I wound up writing a forum post on the Unity forums. Got some really good writing advice from those guys. So definite shout outs to the Unity community for that. Let's see what we've got here. And looks good. Like it. I can make that work. Um, let's see. Go ahead and not quite that much. Yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be sort of the base of the building. But yeah, I've been working on the writing of the game. I'm going to try really, 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 really hard not to make it suck. Go ahead and name this right quick. Let's see. Cube. Let's see. Go ahead and scale this down. Oh wait, no, I need to scale that on the y-axis. Go. I'm sort of going for a look very reminiscent of like the houses in Zelda in A Link to the Past. I really like that look. I think it suits a house really well. I'm probably gonna retroactively go and do that to the other houses. The current houses I'm actually not going to be keeping in their current shape because at least I've got to update the textures. So pretty much what I'm doing with those at the moment is I've got their that actually looks reasonably good. I've got their textures just being predefined, sort of textures that you can make in Blender, and I've got those saving and baking out to the UV for the actual building. But what I'm going to wind up doing is going back, creating some of my own handmade generic textures, and replacing the sort of automatically generated textures by Blender. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a chimney because, you know, why not? Yeah, and there we go. So control join. Yeah, there we go. Everything is together now. Probably the next thing I need to do. Front. Let's go ahead and start. I need to raise this. Yeah, that way those vertices won't be poking through the walls there. That's kind of embarrassing. I guess something else I could do is I could make a no, because I want the door to be a sprite so that it's interactable. I think I'm on the right path with this. Go ahead and start setting seams. Pretty much what a seam is, if you're unfamiliar with 3D work, is a seam. Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a split in the texture that you're making. So let's see. I'm probably not doing. I'm sure that there's people who watch this who do a lot of 3D animation who are watching me make these seams, and they're like going, "Ooh, Andrew, you aren't doing it right." Ow, that hurt my throat. That hurt my throat like it hurts you to see. So if you're one of those people, actually, either if you're in the stream, well, definitely feel free to say something. But more important, well, I say more importantly, since there's a lot of people who wind up watching this live stream well after the fact on YouTube. If you're one of my YouTube subscribers, hey, you know, let me know. I always enjoy learning something new. So, and if you can tell me, I mean, hey, that's really cool. I'd appreciate it. Um, Seam. Yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to mark the seams on these support beams. No. And yeah, that's the one. Go ahead and mark another seam um, across where everything meets with the foundation. That's something not actually. That's a really good question I can ask on stream of my viewers. Not being a 3D guru of any description, does the order if any of you guys use Blender, does the order that you mark a seam matter to anything? I mean, just again, feel free to let me know. I mean, there's a lot of very talented people who watch my stream and probably bang their heads when they see some of the silly stuff I do on here. But yeah, I'd be really interested to know that. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and inside the depths of the chimney, I'm going to go ahead and seam that up. Okay, so there we go. It's kind of raw. Let me go ahead and do a quick render for you guys. That doesn't look very good. Lighting. Go ahead and get rid of that. You know what? Let's get rid of the camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is unwrap. Just going to go with the default Smart UV project. Let's create a new image. I think 124 is fine. And I always like to go ahead and just collapse these since I'm not planning on using them right away. There's probably a lot of optimization I could stand to do on this, but well, I'll get there eventually. I mean, hey, I got to implementing the shop system eventually. I mean, if I can do that, this is all chump change, right? Okay, so let's see this textured. Ooh, nice. I'm actually wondering if I shouldn't just do like most of my game in black, just go away from my super duper colorful thing and do like black and white except for certain things. I don't know. It'd definitely be an interesting aesthetic, very minimalist, and might not hurt all that much. Come to think, well, whatever. I like my art style. There's some things I'm willing to give on, some things I should give on, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is not one of them. So yeah, yeah, I think I can live with this. Let's put it in Unity. I have a lot of stuff under doodads. That's a red flag. Okay. Be very dangerous, and I'm going to delete my backup file. Let's see. Game objects. Yeah, that's the right place to put it, I guess. Okay, shop exterior. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it unlit for grins and giggles. Let's see, houses small. There's really gonna be only one generic shop exterior. Okay, let's zoom in really good on this thing. Give it a little bit so you can vision there. Yes. 7. There we go. 0.75 maybe? Yeah, there we go. 13.75, yeah. That's looking good. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a work of art. I'm happy. I like it. I don't know what other thing is using Unity's process, but it needs to stop. Hey there, Darth Greg 78. How's it going, man? Actually, I didn't wait to see if... Okay, you didn't say anything yet. Okay. No worries. Okay, so probably the next thing I've got to go ahead and do then is I need to get another... need to get like a door trigger of some kind going. That, actually, I'll go ahead and stick this directly on the shop. I think that's good. Xbox Collider. I'll go ahead and make a 2 by 2 by 2. Stick it, I think, 5. Go ahead and stick it forward 1y, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's good. Because this thing is sort of flipped. It's probably something I should correct, actually. Yeah, whatever. It'll be fine. Since one of my plans failed, right? Okay. First things first. Let's see. 1, negative 0.5. Put the shop door trigger on that. There we go. Did I not apply scales? Dang it, I didn't apply scale. Radio. That's easily resolved though. Okay. Delete. I made it purple. I made it magic pink actually, but disco block. Whoa, that's weird. Let's not pretend we did. There we go. That's our nice baked exterior. There we go. I think 2 is good. Then that's set up as a trigger. Pretty sure I have a script for exactly this sort of thing. It's not the puzzle door object, by the way. That's something that's actually related to the disco block puzzles. Really? I don't have anything? Okay, well, I guess I can make something on screen for you guys. Then I've already got the. I already know how I'm gonna be going about doing it too. But before I get too far, go ahead and actually make the sprite for the. Right now, it's going to be magic pink because I don't feel like actually getting all spiffy with it just yet. I might by the end of the stream, but oh, for right now, I don't. It'll be blue just because I feel like it. So that's that, and this mesh filter. It's a quad. Specular. That's okay, I guess. 90. Nah, it needs to be 2 by 2 by 2, I guess. What I'm gonna wind up doing is I'm gonna be creating a bitmap of some kind that will look like a door. Yeah, there you go. be transparent around the edges, and it'll just be stylized, very similar to what I did in the hero's journey. But for right now, yeah, you'll be. It kind of does look cool, like it's like a bunch of water being held in by the building. And that I might use that idea in the future. That seems kind of cool. But for right now, that's not really important. Right. So what I need desperately is a way to get into this shop. So I've got an interaction presenter. I've got an entity text interface. Prepare interaction. So I guess I just need to create like a new, just create door interface, I guess. Yeah. Now this might get a little bit interesting for anyone who's watching who's like who's a serious programmer, because if you are a serious programmer, you're probably aware in C# that a interface has a very specific programming meaning. If you're not aware what that is, pretty much a interface is a contract that you can make a class inherit from that says this class has to have these methods and these properties. It's different from an abstract base class, because an abstract base class means that the inheriting class needs to have those methods, those properties, and certain data fields. But yeah, that's what an interface means. But it's still going to be okay, because it's still going to be okay even if it's not perfect, because usually the way interfaces are named in C# is they start with an I, like I debuggable or I whatever. So that's usually how you know an interface from something else. But this is something else, so we don't really have to worry about it too much. But pretty much what's going to happen here is I'm going to go ahead and get my boilerplate all set up. I definitely like having my code folding regions. Those are extremely helpful. Let's see, entity text interface I want to be shown also. Oh yeah, that's because I was going to implement that, right? So pretty much what I need to do in this one is copy those over. I should just copy all of this crap over and then sort it all out. So it's definitely a door. Text, don't need that. On interaction. What I really want to do is have a transition manager. I want to do a fade out. I want to do a full fade out and then a scene transition. Object type fader. There we go. So pretty much whenever I interact, oh yeah, I also want to have a public scene state, target state. There we go. Pretty much I want to go ahead and tell the transition manager to do that. Like so. Let me see. Now I might need to keep some things from this. Let's see, dialog controller dot instance. I don't know. I think this is starting to get a little bit. My architecture is starting to get a little bit muddled because really the dialog controller, its only responsibility should be to dealing with dialogue. I mean, that's why I named it that. But for it to be handling sort of generic events like this, I think I need something that can instead mediate and dispatch these sort of interactions. But in both these cases, both the entity text interface and the door interface, that will be pretty simple because right now these are both pointing to dialog controller, and all I'd be doing is pointing this to something different and telling, yeah, and just be telling the code in here, yeah, to do something a little bit different. Actually, let me make a note to do that. All right, all good. Yeah, having a notepad as a programmer is a very important thing to have. So yeah, that should work. I think it'll work. Will it compile? Yes, it will. Okay, so yeah, the interact text is going to be enter. The seed state in this case, it's not one of my prototype scenes. That's for darn sure. It's going to be shop generic. Let's go generic. Let's see, the player character is at 0.051. Okay. That's actually important to know. Screw you, Unity. Okay. Won't let me see a second order or lower child in the in my series of prefabs. That's a little bit irritating, but it's cool. And I'll apply that. So that's pretty much going to matter for everything. Okay, let's make this happen. All these dudes walking in place. When I implement actual sprites, I'm going to be dictating pretty much what their starting animation should be. So, hey, there we go. We linked the shop up, but now we've got to get out. All right. Now, if this keeps up, I might be able to actually do some of that texturing stuff on stream. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, before I get all All hot and bothered about it though. Let's go ahead and create a similar. Did I already have a trigger? Previous scene. Yes, I do. Okay. So this is going to be again different. Um, okay, so that's really more of a. Is it control? No. It's definitely not visual. Nor is it a UI helper. It's not a base behavior because it's nothing's only inheriting from it. Game systems. Yep, there's triggers and okay, I guess it's a game system then. That's cool though. Now go ahead and normalize my line endings. Why not? Go ahead and make this a debuggable behavior again, just in case I need to figure out some aberrant behavior. Actually, let me check chat right quick. Still hanging around. It's cool. It's cool. Let's see. I'm gonna need a whole bunch of private things though, because I'm gonna need a private fader. I'm gonna need my maestro to fade out the sound. Let's go ahead and do. Maestro equals maestro dot instance. Transition equals transition. You know, I don't need that maestro and I don't need that maestro and fader in the other script either. That's built into that's built into the transition manager. Why am I wasting lines of code? I don't need to waste lines of code. That's a very bad habit. Okay. Well, I'm done beating myself up. Let's see. Okay, so okay, and then I'll just do a revert to the previous scene. Yeah, that should work. Balls. Balls. Wait a sec. Not balls. Not balls. Not balls. Castle. Here, Castle. Flip table. I just boned every single trigger, every single scene change trigger in my game. Every scene change trigger in my game. Wait a sec. It's still not over, actually. Okay, I'm going to save this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to exclude the changes to the scene change trigger. Yes. Okay. So we actually have to close Unity for a sec. So this is a crash course on how when you do something boneheaded, you recover from it. This is also why you use version control. Okay, so this is my handy dandy little thing, right? Git commit. Okay. Go ahead and commit all, because I don't want to lose any of the smart work I've done. Let's see. Materials is gone. Scene change trigger dot prefab. Now revert. And yeah, I'll go ahead and check that in. Vector. Go. And I'll go ahead and push it up to GitHub, just so that I have it. And the password is not swordfish, by the way. Okay. Let's try this again and see how badly this goes. Game objects, triggers. Scene change. Oh, thank God. Thank God. My covenant to you, my viewers, is I will never do something that's stupid on stream. Well, I can't say that. Never mind. My covenant is if I do screw it up, I will try to make it as educational and funny as possible. How about that? I gotta see what chat's saying. Hey, Shadow FX. I see y'all survived me nuking all of my scene change triggers. Still, it was only 2 people who saw it. In some ways, I'm glad I'm not a very popular stream, because if I had nuked my triggers on like a 1,000 viewer stream, oh my God, there would be so much butt clenching. It wouldn't be. It would be ridiculous. Okay, well, dodged a bullet there. That's why you use version control, ladies and gentlemen. Version control is your friend. Dropbox is not version control. Dropbox cannot do what I just did. You need version control when you're developing a game. Get version control. Git, SVN, Mercurial, Plastic, I don't care. As long as it's real version control, totally get it. It's worth your while. It'll save your butt. Just save mine. You saw it. Anyways, right, off my soapbox. Let's go past the tap dancing herald. Or test speaker. Did I? Oh, whatever. Oh, I didn't set a collision trigger on, or I didn't set a mesh collider. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's unexpected. Okay. That's still not as bad as nuking everything, so we're okay. See about her text blob got it sort of got nuked. Let's see, I think it's Nuria NPC 1. I know Nuria NPC 2 is my yeah, there you go. That's correct. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so what I'm thinking I need to do then is I need to add some code to my door interface to generate current scene information in the source scene of my transition manager. That way, that way this will all function correctly. Okay, so pretty much what I do on interaction, prepare scene change, target state. Scene. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do say scene state. Name okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is find the player character. I need the control manager for that. I don't think I do. I think what I can do instead is I could just do private transform player. Yeah, that's not an underscore. There we go. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that should fix it. Hey there, Tap Dancing Herald. That's what I'll make the herald. I'll make the herald male, and I'll make the herald be named the Herald the Tap Dancing Herald, and I'll keep the cheesy animation. There we go. I also need to make that that return trigger a little bit smaller. Crap. So that didn't quite work. Different script on this behavior is okay, fine. Actually, see how my stream's doing. You're new to begin with? Version controls yes, it is a necessity. And I'm glad you like the music. I wrote it myself. Some of the music I think could be better, but why did I open Audacity? I guess you got me thinking of music. That's why I opened Audacity. All part of the plan, folks. All part of the plan. Yeah, if you're brand new to Unity, it's a very powerful system. I highly recommend writing like your own just really small game like Match 3 or something ridiculous to get a basic handle on Unity. Because it's powerful, but like anything that's powerful, you do have to practice it, and well, you have to open it yourself up to screwing up a couple of times. Okay, so yeah, so we don't really know why the shop scene batted us back, but we can find out because I'm the developer and I'm running the game in an IDE. So let's see what's going on. Go ahead and collapse everything except for the transition manager. Okay, so keep forgetting about that transition. Okay, so City of Nuria. Cool. So what it should be doing is it should be sending me to City of Nuria, -7, 0.83, 10.88. Okay. What? 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 That's not right. Okay. I might have a bug of a different kind. Previous scene trigger. Change scenes true. Go to definition. So target state equals original state. Target scene equals original state. That's scene. Okay. Where is it getting this from? This is not right. Okay, previous scene. Okay, before I get too carried away, there's a couple of things I need to do. So I've got a mesh renderer. This doesn't have any animations. Let me fix that. No. Apply. And delete. Rig. Doesn't have any animations. Apply. And delete. Okay, cool. We're in business now. All right, so like I was saying, physics, mesh collider, up, and apply. There we go. So now I shouldn't be able to bump into my shop. I'm going to test by intentionally trying to run into the side of the shop. Let's get around her. Yeah, you can't get in. There you go. That's how I know that works. Alright, so let's go back to the ambassador object. So target state, shop generic. Is there anything here that would possibly make me... Oh, that would do it. I forgot. I reverted all of my altered stuff. Let's go ahead and save those changes. Okay. But still, it's better than nuking every single one of these in my game. Okay. But I'm not going to make that mistake again, ladies and gentlemen. No, no, no. Once burned, twice learned. I'm going to make a prefab for it. There you go, because that might be useful in the future. So, there we go. Okay. So we shopped. Crap. Okay, let me try this from Noria. By the way, friends and viewers, if you're wondering why it's taken me a long time to create this game, this is the sort of thing that happens a lot. And I usually only have about 3 hours a day to work on my game. So yeah, this sort of thing can eat up more time than you would think. But yeah, there we go. We can now freely enter and exit the shop. Okay. I'm proud. Probably the only other thing I would do. Let's see. Oomph. Go ahead and move these up. Go ahead and do the same with these over here. Oomph, oomph. Let's see. I do sort of like that that unrendered look, but I don't know if it works for this game. But I'll think about that later. Okay, it's kind of cool. I could make like a sign for it. I'm in my last 10 minutes of broadcasting. It might be a good idea to do some Q&A, a little Q&A part, because that's how I like to end my broadcast, just to come down from work